Good morning. It's the 1st of October and we're back to level 1. Our curfew is extended until 12 p.m. and bottle stores are running as per usual. Guys, how exciting, just before the weekend. I don't know if Cyril thought that one through. Today we welcome in a new month, and as always we have fresh exciting content planned for each of our GMC morning shows. I'm Taryn Woods and I'm your anchor for this morning's show. Taking us into the new month with our daily dose of inspiration is our Tony Subramani. October means it's Belita Halloween Horrors time, so we have Nicole Boshoff in studio to fill us in on the plans for this exciting family event coming up. Any household with students in will know that there's pressure on these youngsters these days, especially this time of the year when it comes to studying and exams. So I'm very pleased to say that we've got a personal development coach, Kristen Honeyball, joining us today, discussing all about the stress in detail for our kids. Windsor Health's Paul Honeyford is up next with Pratisha Singh, and then a daily recap on their discussion of up to their updates on Ozone. Good Morning North Coast sports anchor Matt Williams takes up a slot with all things sport, followed by our entertainment segment with Zoe Sturgeon, who chats to Kelly Alice about what she's been up to and her new music video. Zoe gives us the rundown on the weekend vibes and what is happening and where they're happening. It is then over to the weather and surf with Hayley and Dion before we close out with Kelly's new music video. Don't forget, after the show for the kids, we've got Laugh Out Harry, which finishes off its weekly run for the kids, but we'll be back on Monday. A reminder that on Saturday morning from 8 a.m, we will be broadcasting our GMNC shows for the week that's gone by for your viewing pleasure. Thank you so much to Puzo Water for our bottled water every morning. It definitely does help us. Tony, good morning. It's Friday, 1st of October, lockdown level 1.
Bottle stores are back to normal.
Bottle stores are back to normal. You can go back today and buy some more food.
Yeah, good morning, Taryn. Good to be back. Good morning to the viewers. We're into the last quarter of 2021.
Can you believe it?
Yes. And I remember 3 months ago I sat in this chair and I talked about the very same topic I want to talk about today, but a different take to it. Yeah. But I was also stressed and panicking about being on air. But today I want to just share this topic again. The topic is on gratitude. And, you know, we probably hear this word and we think, oh, not again. But there's never enough said about gratitude. And that's so important to understand what purpose it serves in our lives, you know. Yeah. And I remember mentioning this here that, you know, it's so important to get a gratitude journal. This is my journal that I carry with me.
I remember you mentioned that.
Yes. And also, if it's something that you can't carry with, and I usually just put it down in my phone every single day, I must write down 3 distinct statements that I'm grateful for. And it starts off with I am happy and grateful for, and whatever you write out. Now, there's something else I want to bring into the discussion in a few minutes' time, but we usually are grateful for the good stuff that happens in our lives, right? But we also extend it to look at things that we really want to happen in our lives. It may not have happened as yet, but you kind of predict it to be in the present tense in your gratitude journal, right? That's so crucial for everyone. So I want to encourage the viewers, if you haven't got this yet, to get this notebook, any notebook, and start working on your gratitude journal. That's part of the homework. Now, I've been bearing gifts and bringing gifts around. Everyone's very concerned about these little, I call these gratitude rocks.
Gratitude rocks.
Right? Now, for those of you familiar with The Secret, you probably have read about how the one South African whose son was very, very sick, and his story is in The Secret, where he actually came up with the gratitude rock. Now, I carry this with me every day. It's a reminder of being grateful when you actually touch this, either in your purse or your wallet, or you see it in your car. Just be grateful for 2 or 3 things at that stage. You don't have to write it out, but just bring out the memory and the sentence that I'm grateful for the clear traffic. I'm grateful for the reliable vehicle. I'm grateful that I'm early to work. I'm grateful that I'm prepared for the appointment or the meeting. It is stuff like that. I'm grateful that I got up this morning, and as I was driving here, I was just sharing, you know, with the universe how grateful I am that things were good. I mean, we had a massive storm last night with the wind, but you know what? I'm grateful that we're still safe and the stuff like that. So this is the other item that I want to mention in today. Get hold of a little rock like this, a little pebble, and keep it with you that it reminds you of being grateful for some stuff that's happening, that this does happen in your life or should be happening in your life.
I absolutely love this, Tony. It's such a clever little gesture for yourself to keep reminding yourself, and it's quite a nice looking little rock too.
Thank you. Yes, it's lovely, and it's good to just carry it with you, and it reminds you of being grateful.
That is so clever.
Now, there's the twist which I actually was not aware of until very recently. being grateful for our misfortunes. Right? Now, I want to clarify that, you feel grateful and you are grateful. Now, when you lose your job, like some of us done in the past few months due to lockdown, you've lost clients, you've lost your job and stuff like that. Now, you cannot actually be grateful for the fact that you've lost.
No.
Right? But you must be aware of the fact that when you had a job, you were grateful for the people you interacted with, the experience you got out of that work situation, the salary you earned at that. So you attach gratitude to that, that particular incident or experience in your life that creates this atmosphere of being grateful. Right? It might sound very, very weird, but I just want to read out. While it may seem counterintuitive to be thankful for our misfortunes, it is in those moments of gratitude that we find true wisdom. Right? While it may seem counterintuitive to be thankful for our misfortunes, it is in those moments of gratitude that we find true wisdom. And I want to encourage the viewers to start looking at that as well, in terms of it's about being in the mood and the mode of being grateful. When you are grateful for your misfortunes, you attract a lot of support. Right? People are out there rallying their support to you and trying to make sure that they're able to give you the comfort and some kind of peace while you're going through a very, very difficult time. Right? In the middle of our brokenness, in the middle of our disappointment, in the middle of our trauma, gratitude does heal. And it's, when we're not grateful for some of the misfortunes, we're carrying a very negative energy. And we're all energy. Right? So it's important to understand it's not about feeling grateful, it's about being grateful. And that was what my message is for this morning, is to expand this energy of gratitude to such an enormous state that you're going to really attract so much more in your life as well. It's what you give out is what you get back. So gratitude, we can go on and on talking about it. It's not just about the word, it's about the action that follows. So, number one, get a gratitude journal. Anything that suffices for now. Write out 5 statements every morning or evening for what you're grateful for. Get hold of a gratitude rock. Let it remind you throughout the course of the day that we don't have to continue focusing on the negative. You can focus on positive and be grateful for that. And thirdly, be grateful for your misfortunes. And you can enjoy a life of bliss and gratefulness.
Sure, Tony, what a powerful and inspiring message this morning. It really is.
Thank you.
It's really, really, really inspiring and something that all of us can apply to our daily lives. I mean, I'm also guilty of, with my misfortunes. I'm not grateful for that. I'm very negative about that. And if you turn it just around, it just shows you how you can gravitate towards the right way.
And again, it's not about, feeling grateful. It's about being grateful. And that's so crucial about what we were talking about this morning.
Tony, thank you so much. Guys, be more grateful. Exercise it. Get your daily journal. Write your gratefulness down. And get your grateful stone. This is going to go into my car. I think that's where I need it the most.
Yes.
And we're going to go into a quick ad break. And after the ad break, we've got Nicole Bossoff from Halloween Horrors.
We have a few secrets that we don't mind sharing here at Secrets Health, Day and Beauty Spa.
Now situated in our new home, we offer a relaxing ambience.
With breathtaking nature scenes, birds singing, green lawns, with a sparkling blue pool and amazing sea view.
We now offer indoor and outdoor treatments with manicures, pedicures, facials, and massages.
We brought in various new products and services, and we are shifting our focus to more outdoor treatments with fresh air and the beautiful sounds of nature.
New to our therapy, we offer sports massage, working deeper on muscle fibers with a specific athletic enhancement goal.
We want to make a difference and create an experience that will help people find a path to wellness.
Now you can enjoy your treatments outside by the pool or inside our warm and beautiful spa.
Serving our community for the past 10 years, our new venue is a must visit for your next treatments and pampering.
Welcome back, and thank you for tuning in, and thank you to all our viewers. We're so grateful for every single one of you. With me is Nicole. Nicole, good morning.
Good morning.
How are you?
I'm well, thanks, and you?
Good, thank you so much for being here. Halloween horrors. Yes. A lot of us know what it is, and a lot of us have no idea what it is. Do you mind touching base and giving us a bit of history of Halloween horrors?
So Halloween Horrors started in 2018. Seema from Sable's Creatures had this idea. She absolutely loves Halloween.
Yeah.
So it was a small event at first, held at Sugar Rush. They had just like a maze of horrors. And then in 2019, Brett Michelin, the owner of Mozambique Restaurants, came on board. With him and Seema, they love scaring people. So yeah, the event just grew bigger and bigger. And last year, Mama G's at Umhlali Country Club also came on board, and now we hold it in their hall. So yeah, every year it just grows bigger and bigger, and this year Seema is out to make it the best that it's been. So again, this year it will be at Umhlali Country Club at the end of the month on the 29th, 30th and 31st of October.
Okay, and so is it just a maze of horrors, or what does it entail?
So we've got two events. It's the Maze of Horrors, which will run on all the 3 days. So yeah, basically it's just a maze that's just full of surprises around each corner. And then we've got Spooktacular, which is more for the kids.
Okay.
And that will run on Saturday and Sunday.
Okay, what is the Spooktacular? Is it also just a type of maze?
It's fun games for the kids. There's an age restriction on the Maze of Horrors this year.
I was just going to ask you, how does the age limits work for
So
children?
for Maze of Horrors this year, its age restriction is 8. That's why we have the Spooktacular as well, so the younger kids can join in on the fun.
Oh, that is so much
So yeah,
fun.
so there will be food vendors, jumping castles for the kids, craft gin. We also have a base dress competition.
Oh, really? So we can actually come dressed up?
Yes, you have to come dressed up as your...
Oh, that's one of the prerequisites for the actual event. Okay.
Yeah. So this year we're going to do it a bit differently. Last year we had a bit of hiccups with moms not liking who we chose. So this year we'll do it different. They will have to take their photos and then upload it on our social media, either Instagram or Facebook. And like our page, share it as well. That gets feed to Sable's Creatures. And then we will have people vote.
That's much better.
Yeah.
This is more interactive, and like you say, you're not going to have some upset mommies that have gone out of their way, and you know how moms can get. They get quite touchy when it comes to things like. And what's the price associated with it? How much do the tickets cost? Where do we buy the tickets?
So the tickets are at the door.
Okay.
It's 40 Rand a ticket, and then for the kids games for Spooktacular is 10 Rand a ticket.
That is so affordable. I mean, you know, for the kids to go and have some fun, if you've got an extra 50 Rand lying around, 60 Rand, I mean, take your kids out. It's going to be
it's a lot of fun. The kids really enjoy it. So Yeah.
My word, that is awesome. And tell me, so is it only once a year Halloween Horrors? Is there any other background info at Halloween Horrors?
So this is the biggest event that we have for Sable's creatures to raise money for them. Yeah. Throughout the year, we do have other fundraising events, but Halloween is definitely the biggest one, and the one that seems like wants to do the most. So yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
It's such a good cause as well. I mean, like we've seen with previous fundraisers, Bleater really comes out and they really back the fundraising events, which is
Yeah.
absolutely phenomenal. And it's level 1 lockdown.
Yes.
So I know we're going to have to wear masks, so I'm sure
Yes.
there's COVID protocol in place as well. And outdoors numbers now have increased, which is fantastic.
Yeah, no, it's very good news for us. We might change the times now because we did have it until 9 o'clock. But now if we
saw
stay on level 1, then yeah, we might go longer,
So
which
it's
is
a
good.
bit more brave, a bit
Yes.
scarier in the evening. Oh, that is fantastic. Oh, thanks so much, Nicole. We really appreciate
thank you
having
for
you
having
there.
me.
Guys, coming back to them. It's for a good cause. The kids will have lots and lots of fun. I mean, I know we used to enjoy that. At school, we used to do these Hollywood things and build the mazes, and being spooked is fun. But please don't scare your kids. We don't want them having nightmares. Thank you so much for being with us
Thank you
in
for having
studio this morning. We appreciate it. We're going to go to an ad break, and after the ad, we've got Kirsten Honeyball, our life coach.
Belito TV is proud to be partnering with Vision 153 in this exciting Ladies' Morning, raising funds for those in need. The dates for this fundraising event is for the 16th of October. Reserve your spot now and help change a life.
Hi, I'm Debbie Jean. I'm a makeup artist and I have worked both locally and internationally. I really look forward to sharing my makeup secrets with you at our Ladies Image and Makeup Workshop. I'm going to be focusing mainly on eyes and eyebrows because now that we're all wearing masks, that's where the focus lies. So I hope to see you there.
Hi, good morning. My name is Roy Primmer from Vision 153. We are a registered Section 21 non-profit company. We have 800 beneficiaries. 95% of them are widows and orphans, of which the majority are under the age of 7 years old. So we encourage you to get active and get involved in the Image and Makeup Workshop on the 16th of October. So please book now, join us and make a difference and change a life. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Ange Phoenix from Colorworks International. We are an image consultant training academy who has been training and equipping women from across the world for over 30 years. I look forward to joining you on the 16th of October for our Image and Makeup Workshop, where I will be assisting you in identifying your own personal style profile. Book now and don't miss out. We'll see you there.
So as you've heard, the dates for this incredible fundraising event is for the 16th of October. Reserve your spot now, immediately. Book below on our link. We'll see you there.
Have you heard about Finlay Fuel's program that empowers your small business or your family through a cashback benefit on your monthly fuel spend? I'm excited to tell you that no matter what the size of your small business fleet or the number of cars in your family, all you need to do is simply refuel your vehicle at participating BP service stations countrywide, and the saving of 70 cents per litre on diesel and 13 cents per litre on petrol can be yours. There are no credit checks because the program follows a prepaid model. And voila! Let me show you how easy it is. To sign up, visit www.finlayfuel.co.za. Upon completion of your sign-up, you will receive an SMS notification confirming your membership. Arrive at the BP forecourt, identify yourself as a Finlay Fuel client. Enter your secure PIN into the terminal handed to you by the attendant. The attendant will scan your BP Fleet Move tag and a pre-authorization slip will be issued. Fuel will then be dispensed and a real-time SMS notification will be sent to you confirming the transaction. And off you go.
to our Good Morning North Coast show on Ballito TV. With me in studio, I've got Kirsten Honeyball. Kirsten, welcome.
Hi there, how are you?
Good, it's so good having you here. So you're a life coach.
Yes.
And you're based?
In Ballito.
For those of you that don't know, very well-known life coach. Today's topic, and I know it's one of the biggest topics currently, is kids, obviously, the exams coming up, their prelims for the matrics that have just passed, there's their finals coming up. Little kids are under a lot of pressure as well. You know, schools put a lot of pressure on us. So how do we, as parents, help our kids cope with stress?
Okay, so I think it's important to recognize that, you know, what kind of stress our kids are going under. So kids can have emotional stress or emotional anxiety or whatever, and then they can experience a physical kind of stress. So physical would be reasons because of maybe lack of sleep, lack of nutrition, a lack of correct supplements or water or anything like that. And an emotional stress might be because of, you know, pressure from kids at school, or the fact that they're homeschooling and there's this weird thing for kids where we now have to be distanced, which is not natural for a child, you know, like, and pretty much the whole schooling system has completely transformed over the past 2 years. So as a parent, it's important to start to educate yourself about these two different types of stress that a child can go under, and then how to address each one separately or collectively. Yes.
And that's something, because you just think, oh, your child is acting out, or oh, the child's naughty, but actually there are these different stress factors contributing to the way your child is acting and behaving.
100%, yeah. I mean, a lot of the time, someone will see that their child is hyperactive and send them get ADHD medication or something, but actually their child needs creative expression, or their child needs more greens in their diet, or something like that, you know. So there's a lot of misinformation on the needs of a child at whatever age, young, old, teenagers, anything like that.
And I mean, with COVID, we just quickly touch on it. I'm sure you've seen such a big shift in literally the stress levels of little kids. Do you find that it's the younger generation or more the older generation that's getting more affected with the kids that come and see you?
I think it's both. I'm mostly working with the older kids in high school at the moment, but there's definitely it's across the whole spectrum, because younger kids are feeling unnatural in their desire to connect. They're not getting that, you know.
Of course.
The older kids are struggling with things like not knowing how to study for exams, because they actually, a lot of the clients that I work with think, oh, I'm just going to do an exam and I'll read out the book and not even study properly for it, you know.
That's
so
exactly that.
Yeah. So it's completely spread out amongst the ages.
It's so sad, isn't it? And do you think that will affect them in the long run? I mean, as they age or maybe leave school, do you think that, you know, COVID and not them coping with stress factors will actually have a prolonged effect on them?
Yeah,
if
definitely.
Not, you know, getting treated.
Yeah, definitely. I think a lot of parents haven't really known how to handle their children's stress levels prior to COVID, and not for lack of care or anything like that from the parents' side. It's more a lack of understanding, a lack of family connection, a lack of those kinds of things. And I think that COVID has, in some ways, made families more connected, because now parents have to be more hands-on.
Yes, have to spend time with their kids.
But a lot of the time, the parents are finding like, oh my gosh, I've got this child now that's experiencing all of these things, and I'm not equipped to do this, you know. So I suppose it depends on the parent and how they're willing to approach it.
And also that has a roll-on effect onto the child. The child can sense the parent is also stressed.
Yes.
So that, again, there's tension. Now, as a mom watching or dad watching, and I find that my kids, whether they're young or old, have you got any tips for me as to how to address the stress situation with my children, and what I should do and shouldn't do in those situations?
Okay, so for young children, the children are they need love, right? But the way that they experience love is through connection and through quality time spent. So you can say to your child, I love you, but unless you show them I love you with the time they're not going to understand it. So with younger children, that quality time gives them a sense of more peace and stability, which helps them take that into the rest of their day, if you know what I mean. So creating a sense of security, safety, stability in younger children. And then in older children, I think it's about boundaries and knowing when to parent and when to be compassionate and that kind of thing. So you need to know when to step back and when to step in. And I think as a parent, you need to be an observer of your child. You need to be present in the child's existence, and you need to be communicating with them. So a lot of parents find it very scary, especially a teenager. They start acting out, they start like resisting, they start...
It's very difficult to communicate. They don't want to communicate.
Yes, and then a lot of the time they're just like, okay, cool,
Push
go.
it.
And they'll send them to someone like myself as a life coach. And a lot of the time I'm like, this isn't going to really get any better until the parent steps in, you know. So the parents need to be present. And in terms of what not to do, I would say the worst thing you can do is to not communicate, you know. The worst thing you can do is to think that someone else will solve the problem.
No. I mean, you are a life coach, but you can't solve the problem. You can only guide and advise as to how to help cope with it and how to deal with the children. And I do, I mean, we all know people that just shove the problem along, the teachers shove it onto the parents, and the parents on the kids, and there's lack of communication, and that's where kids act out, and there's no concentration, and absolutely the stress levels in the household just explode. Kirsten, can we as people come and see you? Do you go to households? How does your services work? Do you do it online?
Okay, so it's a mix of stuff. I currently have an office in Zimbiti Office Park, that if someone does want to see me face-to-face, they can. I also do online, so I do international online, and then if someone does need me to come to a household, if it's in the KZN area, I will do that.
That's fantastic. And do you find, especially with little kids, it's probably a bit easier going into their comfort zone, into their household, or do you find it's better for them to come to you?
I think it's better for them to come to me, because a lot of the time, if the child is experiencing stress at home, then they don't feel comfortable enough to discuss it there, or they might be still experiencing the stress that they have. So a shift in environment is very important to reevaluating your stress levels.
And I can think, especially with autistic kids, it must be so difficult. Do you get a lot of that in as well? How do you, as a mom, if you've got an autistic child, convey that level of, you know, they're anxious, you know, they're not settled, they're a bit, you know, uneasy at school, their communication isn't that great. Have you got any advice for those mums out there as to how to handle the situation with regards to an autistic child?
Okay, so my specialty doesn't lie with children with special needs, even though I do have training with it. And I would say that in that case, you definitely need to bring in a professional, because they can educate you the best way and like how to manage and all of that. Yeah.
Oh, that's fantastic. Oh, thank you so much. I think that is so inspirational, and so, you know, it helps. I mean, people don't know, they're not aware of it. As a parent, you just think, oh, this child is acting out and this child is naughty, and you know, the food that you give them, the lifestyle that you give them, the tension of the home, the lack of communication. I mean, it's good for us to hear exactly that, guys. Kirsten's absolutely amazing. Please contact her. She's at Zimbiti Office Park. You're an amazing life coach. And especially this time of year, if your kids aren't going through a rough time, if you need them a bit settled and focused, and just to help them cope with what they're going through, please give her a call. We're going to go into a pre-recorded interview with Paul Honeyford from Windsor Health.
Hi Ballito, I'm Tanya. I'm the lady from So It Seems Vanina in Ballito. You can find us in Richard Park, right across from the Hirsch. The new shop, it's 3 times bigger than the old shop. We have lots more fabric, a lot more haberdashery items. If you can't sew, I will teach you how to sew. I have an additional teacher that helps us sew, and we have a fabulous space upstairs. Looking for a Bernina machine or a Bernette? I will sort you out with that one. In this little area, we do everything. We service the sewing machine, we service the overlocker. We fix it up for you. Within a week, you'll have it back. While you go through the pattern books, we have a coffee shop in-house called Buttonless Coffee. You can have a coffee or a snack to eat while you do your pattern searching, fabric searching, or sewing upstairs with us. See you soon!
Good morning and welcome back to GMNC. With the last quarter of the year kicking in, what not better time to focus on your health and your body? After all, it is the vehicle that carries us everywhere. So on that note, welcome back, Paul Honeyford.
Good morning, Patricia. It's lovely to be here again. Thanks for inviting me.
Super to have you here. Interesting conversations as always, we can promise you that. So Paul, we're talking about the Ozone Elite system that you guys offer at Windsor Health.
Yes.
So firstly, it is one of a kind. It's medical grade certified ozone, right?
It is. It's 0.05 parts per million, or ppm, as we say. And you're quite right. We are the only company in Africa who are certified, and we have 4 levels of certification: SABS, CSIR, national regulator, and we have the EU standard. And of course, you have to have those things to be able to supply hospitals, clinics, sports teams, etc.
Which you guys do, right?
Which we do. We've been doing, yeah, we've been in the business now for 25 years. So yeah, we've supplied just about everybody.
So as far as I understand it, here on the coastline, we get about 16% of oxygen at the cellular level, and we actually require close to 40%, right?
That is absolutely correct. In Gauteng, for instance, it's as low as 12–14%. But at the coast, yeah, you're up around 16%, maybe 16 to 18%, depending, but certainly no higher than that. And you're right, your body is demanding close to 40%.
So can you explain a bit of the science to us? What does this actually mean for the red blood cells and the white blood cells in our body?
Well, your red blood cells are the oxygen-carrying corpuscles, of course. So what happens when you breathe or you administer medical ozone in your home, it's going in either via the lungs or via the skin, or you're drinking it, and it's going into the, when it enters the bloodstream, it has the ability perfectly naturally to attach to the red corpuscles, and that's how we're driving up that cellular level oxygen. But yes, just as importantly, it's attaching to the white corpuscles, which are your immune system. Those are the fighters. So we're doing 2 primary things immediately. Right. Inside the body. We're driving up cellular level oxygen. It takes approximately 21 days to get you up around close to 40%.
Right.
And of course, we're driving up the immune system. So there's super benefits, both of those. A strong immune system, especially now with COVID, a strong immune system is very important. And driving up that cellular level oxygen is just as important. Yeah.
Definitely. And I mean, what is 21 days compared to a lifetime, right?
Well, absolutely. That's right. You know, people, I always say to people, you know, it took you a lifetime to get sick. We're not going to fix you in a week. You know, it may take a while, but stick with it, you know, stay with the system.
So we've been chatting as well. I mean, when we talk about the big words, diabetes and heart disease and circulation issues and hypertension, what are the benefits of upping our oxygen cellular levels?
Well, what happens is that if we look at heart disease, for instance, you know, a lot of people are having bypasses and stents.
And you know, this one's close to my heart because my husband's actually in recovery from a heart bypass.
Well, you shared that with me, and I think maybe we can chat about that quickly, because first of all, you know, if he had been using our system for quite a while now, he wouldn't have needed the bypass or the stents. The reason for that is that ozone within the bloodstream, your blood almost becomes a detergent. So it helps tremendously in alleviating the plaque that is formed. You know, people say, well, I've got high cholesterol. Well, your high cholesterol is the one thing, but the major problem is the plaque that it's depositing around the surface of the inside of the veins. Well, if your blood becomes a detergent, it's flushing that away, it's cleaning away that. And in addition, it's in a perfectly natural way, medical ozone is thinning the blood. Now, the heart is a pump. Your heart is now pumping a thick, sticky, contaminated liquid.
Right.
And within minutes of, for instance, drinking some ozone water that you've prepared with our system, the blood naturally thins. And if you look at it under a microscope before and after, it's absolutely chalk and cheese. I mean, as a non-medical professional, you can see the difference. It just makes sense that blood pressure will come down because the heart is not pumping a thick liquid now. It's pumping a much thinner, less contaminated, detoxified substance. So yes, hypertension comes down in a perfectly natural way.
Of course, and circulation and things
circulation
like that
improves very much so.
So those are some of the benefits, and we keep on talking about those benefits. In terms of pregnancy, is it safe for pregnancy? I know
Perfectly
you said from
safe.
every age. We're
Perfectly
talking
safe.
from babies to, elderly, whatever age it is, it's great,
Perfectly
right?
safe.
And also, what about the healing properties? So if people are recovering, I mean, we mentioned healing while you're sleeping.
Yeah, 300% quicker.
Wow.
We state that categorically, 300% quicker. We see with the professional rugby players in South Africa, we see that their recovery, the physios and the team doctors tell us all the time that recovery is literally 300% quicker. A 12-week injury becomes a 3-week injury, which is why you'll see professional sportsmen, they get injured, and suddenly 2 or 3 weeks later they're back in action, whereas years ago it would have taken months to recover. So yeah, healing and recovering. And again, what we're doing is we're giving the body the level of oxygen to be able to heal and defend itself.
Right.
And at this level of oxygen, it can heal and defend itself up to 300% quicker.
And from a practical, logical point, I mean, if you require 40%, and you're getting 16%, how do you expect your body to function optimally?
Well, you're absolutely right.
I
always say it's like running a diesel car on petrol. It doesn't work very well, and neither does your body. How can you expect it to? We expect our bodies to heal and recover and stay healthy when we're giving them less than half the oxygen it's demanding. I mean, it just doesn't make sense.
And the part that I actually love about your system is that it's convenient. It doesn't require extra time in a day. It's kind of while you're doing your regular activities, right?
Yeah, we did that on purpose. When we developed this some 25 years ago now, we were determined it must fit in with your lifestyle.
Right.
Otherwise, it's going to end up in the garage. It won't work in the garage.
Yeah.
So we made it as simple as possible, and there are multiple applications. You're quite right. We can take the generator, we put it in the bedroom for 20 minutes before we go to sleep. The whole night, the body's going into REM sleep quicker, it's staying in REM sleep longer, the healing and recovering process is enhanced up to 300%. So you get up in the morning, you've got more energy, you feel as if you've had a deep sleep, which you have. And of course, what's happening is it's doing multiple things. Just using the generator in the bedroom, it's doing multiple things. It's sterilizing the ear, nose, throat. So the sinus problems go away. Sterilizing the chest cavity. So if there's anybody with long COVID who has had COVID, which is a lung condition, it kills that bacteria, gets rid of it, and healing and recovering 300% quicker.
And of course, that wireless remote that we always...
Well, yeah, that's the fourth component. Absolutely, there are 4 components. We can attach the pipe to the generator, for instance. We can blow it inside the fridge. Twice a week, 10 seconds. It will sterilize, deodorize. Your fruit and veggies will last 10 times longer because it's only bacteria that makes your fruit and veggies go off. We can blow it inside the duvets and the pillows, especially with children's rooms, for instance. You know, those microorganisms that live on us.
Those bed bugs.
Well, not so much the bed bugs, but certainly certainly those microorganisms. They contribute to things like allergies and sinus problems and the stuffy nose and the runny nose, all of those things. And of course, we can attach the pipe to the non-slip therapeutic hydromat. And then, yes, as you mentioned, we can then use that in the bath. We can use it in the shower.
Right.
We can use it dry if you've got hip problems, shoulder problems, back problems. I can lie you on the mat and give you a 20-minute therapy that way.
That sounds, I think I need one of those.
It works exceptionally well.
So, and then also the water, the other pathway of ingestion.
Yes.
Right?
You know, primarily, we can debate heavy metals and all, you know, fluorides and things, but primarily, there are only two things in your cold tap water you should be scared of: chlorine and bacteria. Chlorine's really bad for you. It's even worse for your children. Yeah. What happens is if you take a glass, a bottle or a jug, attach the water purification pipe to the generator, drop it into a glass or a bottle of cold tap water, it immediately neutralizes the chlorine. It reacts with it, comes off as a gas. The bacteria is killed instantly, of course, because ozone is 3,000 times stronger than chlorine at killing bacteria. The secret is 2 minutes per litre. We're super oxygenating that water. So now the whole family's drinking the oxygen as well. Saves you a fortune in bottled water. I used to spend a lot of money on bottled water.
I spend a lot of money
there
on
you
bottled
go.
water.
Well, you don't have to spend that anymore.
Oh, that's fantastic. And then, Paul, can we talk about some of your success stories?
Yes, certainly. You know, we've got literally thousands of them over the 25 years, you can imagine.
So you're going to pick your favorite for us
Well,
today.
let me do that for you. Caught me on the hop, but let me help you with that. Chris Fenter. Chris Fenter is a crop farmer from Bloemfontein. When I met Chris, he was in a wheelchair, and they'd actually scheduled him for amputation. He's a diabetic, and diabetic patients struggle with circulation. Yes. So his left leg was completely bloated, circulation was practically non-existent, gangrene was setting in.
Oh no.
Yeah, the man was in a terrible state, and they'd scheduled him for amputation. Luckily his family contacted us, and we went down there, and he invested in our system. And it was quite remarkable what happens in terms of improving the circulation. Right. Yeah, we literally saved his leg.
Wow.
He actually said almost immediately, having wrapped the mat around his leg, he said he could feel a tingling.
Oh, wow.
Immediately.
As immediate as that, yeah.
And what that's doing is it's speeding up the blood flow, because the blood flow to the leg had was practically non-existent, so we saved his leg. Another one I can think of is Bev, a lady from Randburg in Johannesburg that I dealt with personally. Bev is 50, I hope she wouldn't mind me telling you, but she's 50,
say, do you
she's
have
57
years
She's 57 years of age. And when I met her, she told me that she'd been struggling with eczema and psoriasis for 50 years of her life. She started with it as a child at 7 years of age. She tried everything, the steroidal creams, the cortisone creams. They were kind of a temporary fix. And she showed me, it started on her left arm and went right across her chest and down the arm. She invested in our technology. It's actually quite funny, because a week later she phoned me and she says, but it hasn't gone. And again, she was one of those that I said, listen, Bev, you've been struggling for 50 years. Give us a chance. Stick with it. 14 days later, she phoned me and said it's on our website, actually. Her testimonial is on our website. She sent me a voice note. She was ecstatic.
Wow.
And it's gone. It's cleared up. And it can't come back because, of course, there is a bacterial element to eczema.
Yes.
And, well, ozone kills bacteria on contact. So we're treating it in two ways. We're treating it at the epidermis, from the inside out, and we're treating it topically on the skin. 21 days, it cleared up completely.
Wow, that's amazing.
Another one, Trish, actually she's from Natal. Trish had a spider bite, a really bad spider bite, and she got cellulitis.
Yes.
And the doctor put her on antibiotics. The antibiotics made her so ill, and then she used our system. Photographs are on our website, cleared up completely.
Super. So you can find testimonials on the website, right? What is the website?
Yes, it's www.windsorhealth.co.za.
And you have a remarkable deal for us.
We do. Normal price, $31,300. For the first 5 people to respond to this interview, we're going to do those 5 at $19,999. They get everything, including the package of extras, lifetime warranty, water purification, everything. They get 31,300 rands worth of product for $19,999.
So I have to put you on the spot again, because I didn't get a chance to go through it with you before. People have been requesting a payment plan of sorts.
We do financing for as little as 500 rand deposit, balance over 42 months.
Oh, wow. So there you have it. You can also talk to Paul about a payment plan. Super
Perfect.
duper. Thank you so much for being with us again. And I've certainly learned a lot, as every week. And I hope everybody else out there does too. And remember, it's the last quarter of the year. Invest in your health, your body, and yourself.
Morning sports fans, let's kick it off with some football news, and Liverpool right back Trent Alexander-Arnold will miss Sunday's home Premier League game against champions Manchester City due to a muscle injury. Manager Jurgen Klopp said on Thursday the 22-year-old was absent from Liverpool's 5-1 drubbing of Porto in the Champions League and was omitted from England's squad for the World Cup qualifiers against Andorra and Hungary. In selected fixtures coming up this weekend, on Saturday at 1:30 it's Man United against Everton, at 4 p.m. Chelsea host Southampton, and in the late game at 6:30 Brighton tackle Arsenal. 3 matches to look forward to on Sunday at 3 p.m. 2 matches kicking off: Palace against Leicester City. Also at 3 p.m. it's Spurs against Aston Villa, and as mentioned earlier at 5:30 Liverpool host champions Manchester City. Moving to some local football news now, Cape Town City and Orlando Pirates will both be looking to boost or for a boost when they meet in the pick of the weekend's DStv Premiership matches. Their clash is scheduled for Cape Town Stadium, on Saturday evening. Moving to other selected fixtures, on Saturday at 3:30 it's AmaZulu against Chiefs. Also at 3:30 it's Chippa United against SuperSport United, and as mentioned 5:30 it's Cape Town City against Pirates. One match to look forward to on Sunday at 5:30 it's Sundowns against Morocco Swallows. Moving to some rugby news now, the Springboks head into this weekend's final Castle Lager Rugby Championship match against the All Blacks, knowing that a defeat would technically take them back to an unwanted record they have never achieved under the current coaching setup. The last time the Bulk team lost 4 in a row in a match was way back in 2016 on a disastrous November tour when they fell to defeats against Italy, England and Wales after losing their last rugby championship game 57-15 to New Zealand in Durban. In the fixtures to look forward to this weekend, at 9:05 it's the Wallabies against Argentina, and at 12:05 it's the Springboks against the All Blacks. Moving to the United Rugby Championship now, and Chelsea Sharks coach Sean Everett has beefed up his pack by moving Lachlan Grobler to blindside flank for Saturday's second Vodacom United Rugby Championship clash with Glasgow Warriors in Scotland. Grobler's move to the loose forward combination is one of 3 changes to the starting lineup that was selected for the opening URC clash with Munster and Limerick last weekend. In other changes, Murray Kotze comes in the midfield in place of Maurice Lowe, while Fez Mbata comes back in at hooker for Karen van Vuuren, who drops to the bench. And fixtures to look forward to in terms of South African participation. 2 matches kicking off at 9:25 this evening. The Scarlets host the Lions and Cognac tackle the Bulls. 2 matches as well on Saturday from a South African perspective. It's, as mentioned, the Glasgow Warriors against the Sharks at 4 p.m. And then at 9:25 in the evening, Munster host the Stormers. Moving to some cricket news now, a tight all-round bowling performance from the Momentum Multiplier Titans helped them to claim a comfortable 24-run win over the Hollywood Best Tuskers in their CSA knockout clash. And Pool B played at the Moang Oval in Bloemfontein on Thursday. The result sees the Titans confirm their place in the playoffs of the competition alongside the iTech Knights, whose final pool game against the Mpumalanga Rhinos was washed out by constant rain. And finally, in some golf news, Englishman Tyrrell Hatton put a poor Ryder Cup outing behind him to card at 8 under 64 to grab a share of the lead after the first round of the Alfred Dunhill Links Championship on Thursday. Belgium's Nicholas Koolsaerts and Spaniard Andre Anas, as well as China's Li Hangtong, were also 8 under par atop the leaderboard. 3 others, including Scotland's Ewan Ferguson, were 1 stroke back. The tournament is being held across 3 courses in rotation over the first 3 days. The Old Course at St Andrews, Carnoustie and Kings Barnes, with the final round being played at St Andrews. I'm Matt Williams for Good Morning North Coast Sport. You have yourself an awesome sporting weekend, and we'll catch you back here on Monday. Coming up, we're going to have a look at what's happening in the weather and surf.
Good morning everyone, and welcome to your weather for today, brought to you by Belito Gas and Braai. Dit voel vir my of vroue maand dalk 'n maand langer aangehou het as ek die weer so kyk. Today will be cloudy but humid and warm with a high of 26 degrees and a low of 19 degrees. The real feel will be 29 degrees and the real feel shade 26 degrees as well. We have a northeasterly wind at 15 kilometers per hour and wind gusts at 22 kilometers per hour. Also just 25% chance of showers today, but don't get your hopes up want môre reën dit alweer. The sunrise will be at 5:35 a.m. and the sunset at 5:56 p.m. Saturday, we have a touch of rain in the morning, otherwise cloudy and not as warm with a high of 21 degrees and a low of 13 degrees. Sunday, mostly cloudy and cool with a high of 16 degrees and a low of 12 degrees. Tomorrow, Pretoria can expect a thunderstorm around in the morning, otherwise mostly cloudy with a high of 26 degrees and a low of 16 degrees. Joburg also mostly cloudy with a thunderstorm in spots in the afternoon with a high of 23 degrees and a low of 13 degrees. And Cape Town, breezy in the morning, otherwise partly sunny with a high of 19 degrees and a low of 12 degrees. Next up will be your surf report brought to you by Tino Tin Skryfbehoeftes and Dion Bosman from Victory Surf. Enjoy your weekend and we'll see you on Monday.
Morning, Belito, and welcome to Friday morning's Beach Report and an overview for the weekend. And what a great weekend of surf we're going to have. It's going to be light variable winds today, and after all that rain, it's still going to set in for most of Saturday, but today it's light variable and some pretty good peaks at all the main beaches. Still a nice size swell, and with neap tides at the moment, there's not much change in high and low tide. So great waves today, and I would say the best day out of the weekend is actually tomorrow. Saturday looking really, really fresh, nice light offshore breezes all day long, and cool, soft, soaking rain. Saturday night, should I say, there's a nice big westerly buster that comes through for a few hours, and that'll jack the swell up a little bit. And then Sunday it backs off again, and we've got waves all day. So a great weekend of surf for all the surfers, the bodyboarders, the stand-up paddle boarders. Will struggle a little bit in the bigger swell, but unfortunately no winds strong enough for the kiteboarders this weekend, so they can take a break. Good surf, enjoy your weekend, and we'll chat again on Monday.
Good morning and welcome back. It is Friday, yay! And I have another one of my artists back in with us because there's something new and exciting happening in your life. Kelly, welcome back.
Thank you for having me back.
Awesome. And before we carry on, I must thank my gorgeous and wonderful sponsors. I love you guys madly. That is the Diamond and the Emeralds. Mwah! Thank you for making this all possible, because we get to sit down and talk to you again. Now, I think it was July when you were here last.
Yeah.
That's right, like near the very beginning when we first started the morning show. So you could see some things have changed. We've rearranged the furniture a little bit.
Yeah, it looks awesome.
And I think last time we saw your last music video, which was fantastic. I remember it was like a shot on the beach. And It was such a catchy little tune. I know I hear it around here quite often because we all just love it. And we love you.
Thank you.
But you have a new single that was just
Yes.
dropped. So tell us what's been happening, because it's all been very hush-hush.
Yes.
You were like dropping us little hints last time, but we haven't heard anything else. So I've been so excited. Tell me more.
So, yeah, we just dropped a new single. There's 3. There's an acoustic version and a remix version of my new song, Dancing, attached to my EP. It's out everywhere. I'm very excited about it. Yeah, we've been working on it for a while, and I've been really excited to share it. But yeah, it's finally out.
Cool. Now, I remember you told me that the new one is very different. In terms, obviously, you have the musicality of it, and then you have the music video. I mean, how did you go about making that change, and how did it happen?
Well, in the beginning, it was just like a normal song. We didn't think much of it. And then my producer said, hey, let's try and make a remix version of this song. I think it'll be really cool. It works with like Africa, and it's like an embodiment of happiness and all good vibes. And yeah, he thought, let's try and make something different, give something new to the people, and we thought remix and acoustic version would be a good idea.
So cool. So anybody who loves any kind of music can actually find the version of the song that they love. Now the music video, I mean, it's called Dancing, and you are legit dancing.
Yeah.
Do you have much experience dancing, or was this new for you?
I did. I used to do hip-hop classes with Sugar Rush
Cool.
in grade 3 to grade 4, I think. Okay. And then we got back into it for the music video, which was really nice.
So it's just reawakening all those old skills and everything, and it looked fantastic. I'm so excited for everyone to see it. And the music video itself, did it take a while to put it together, and all the practicing and the shooting and everything?
Well, the shooting took about a day. Like, we started early in the morning, and then we ended up like at 1 o'clock or maybe 2 o'clock. But like the whole process, it honestly wasn't long, but it was so much fun to do. Like the dance rehearsals, seeing the dance rehearsed for the first time and trying it out, it was so much fun.
It makes a difference when you enjoy what you're doing.
Yeah.
Definitely. We're lucky that way. I mean, I get to do this. I just sit and talk and have fun with my favorite people. It's so exciting. Okay, now, as I said earlier, it was dropped this morning at midnight. How can people find you?
You can find the music video on YouTube at Callie Else, spelled C-A-L-L-I-E, and my Instagram, which is CALLIE_ES.
Okay, cool. And you said there was 3 different versions. Can we find all 3 versions?
Yes, you can find all 3 versions on all live streaming platforms, including iTunes, YouTube Music, and Spotify.
Okay. And right after this interview, we're going to be playing it. We're going to be hearing the remix, the version. Am I correct? Oh, that's so exciting. Yay. I only saw a very brief clip of it, and I'm just so excited for everyone to see it.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Is there anything else that you want to share with us before we close up?
Yeah, please go watch the music video. It will mean a lot to me. And yeah, we're going to be hopefully making some new music and sharing it with you guys. So I hope you guys enjoy it.
That's fantastic. And just a little sneak peek reminder for people that are watching. I believe I'm going to be having you actually back later in the month, but with Azad.
Yeah.
You guys collaborated.
Yes.
When was that? A while ago?
Yeah, it was for my EP. So it was
and
like
I didn't actually know about that, but I had Zard on here last month, and he
Yes.
mentioned it. I was like, no way. This is so happening, and it has a music video. I'm so excited. So we're going to, and I think it's in about 2 or 3 weeks, we're going to have you both on my couch, and I'm so super amped because we
It'll
just
be
love you
amazing.
both madly. The music that you're creating, the vibes, and just carrying those good vibes with you. I mean, that's what music is all about.
Yeah.
That's so exciting. Thank you so very much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
And I'm so look forward to seeing you later in the month. That's
Thank
so
you.
exciting.
Me too.
Okay, awesome, guys. Now, before we do anything else, we're going to talk about the weekend vibes. So what is happening in the area? Now, when I had these gigs and everything lined up, we didn't know that we were dropping to level 1. So there's going to be a hell of a lot more fun happening this coming weekend, I think, than we had originally planned. But if you're looking for somewhere to go, starting today, we have the talented Nolan on piano at 10 a.m. My darling friend James at 5:30 at the market. Around the corner at Eat Street, we have Sheldon de St. Pern, who we love. We had him on the show recently. If you're at Yami Ribbon Burger for the best burgers in town, we got Eston Lloyd starting at 6:30. If you're at Hops, we've got Johnny at 5:30. Then moving on to Saturday, if you're in Lifestyle Belito Direction, we have Graham Hudson on piano. So somebody a little bit different going to be playing the piano for us. And then I think as Matt already mentioned, we have the SA versus New Zealand rugby that is going to be playing, and that's going to be on the big screen at Lifestyle. So that's a nice family-friendly place that you can watch that. And directly after that, we have the oh-so-talented, epically talented John Ellis. Around that corner at Eat Street, we have Rowan Stewart at 12:30. My dear friends, Hail Mary at 6 p.m. If you're in Hops, we have Eleanor at 5:30. And if you're going Hillcrest direction to the Shongweni Market, another one of our favorite artists here, Tana Wareham, will be entertaining you guys there. That's a lovely family day out. Now, Sunday, fun day, everybody's favorite day of the week. Starting at the market, another fantastic pianist, Callie Thompson, will be entertaining you in the morning. Chuck Bowden, the entertainer himself, will be in at lunchtime. And Eat Street around the corner, we have our weekly appointment with jazz, and that is starting at 1 till 4 with Quiet Storm. At Hops, we have James, who we get to see quite frequently at Hops at 3 p.m. And one of my favorite things on the weekends happens at the Crusaders Club. That is the Soul Sunday Sessions. Now, if you want somewhere to go where you're really appreciating the music and you're really into it, you're dealing with a crowd of people that love live entertainment, it kicks off at 1:30, free entrance. And we're starting with Tion. We've got the Black Lapels duo, and then ending on The Fix. Now, something a little bit different that I just found out about 2 days ago, happening over at Marigold. Now, Marigold always have DJs and all of that whatnot happening. I think they have a comedy show coming up on Friday, today as well. But on Tuesday, they have something different. They have a little art evening starting at 6 p.m. You can make contact with them to get more information on that. And that is our roundup for the course of the next few days. Now, y'all, don't go too crazy with the restrictions being lifted. Look after yourselves, mask up, sanitize, keep safe, and I will see you here next week. And another fantastic shout out to my lovely dear sponsors. Love you guys madly. I'll see you next week.
Keep it up, keep it up. We go, 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 go.
The way the music takes your body, the way the music makes you feel, yeah, yeah, yeah. Can you feel the music take control of you and your mind? Does it make you feel like, does it make you feel like dancing? Yeah. Does it make you feel like, yeah. Does it make you feel like dancing? Remember what it felt like before you knew how to move. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Feel alive now. Just let it take over you. Does it make you feel like? Does it make you feel like dancing? Yeah. Does it make you feel like? Yeah. Dancing, dancing. Does it make you feel like dancing? Make you feel like dancing. Feel like dancing. Does it make you feel like dancing? Feel like dancing. Does it make you feel like dancing? Feel like dancing. Does it make you feel like dancing?
Welcome back. It's Friday. It's almost time to celebrate tonight. It's level 1 lockdown, guys. It's 12 p.m. curfew. What a way to start the weekend. Thank you so much to all our guests, viewers and sponsors, and to Kelly with the musical showcase. It was great having you all on the show. Don't forget to watch Laugh Out Larry after the show. It's good for the kids and some fantastic entertainment to keep them busy while you do your quick morning chores. Have a super weekend, travel safe, have lots of fun, and enjoy our new curfew.